Hey, how's everyone doing? Just finished my walk, but I just want to come on here quickly, and I just want to talk about 4 or 5 things that are related to chronic stress. And I talked about in my last video about how you can eat healthy, you can exercise, you can get enough rest, all of those lifestyle changes, and still develop chronic disease. In particular, I want to talk about heart disease, which is the #1 cause of death in the U.S. And so it's so important that we deal with chronic stress. As caregivers, we are more than most directly affected by chronic stress. So I wanted to just touch briefly on that before I head out, because chronic stress, as I've talked about before, when we're under stress, our body goes through physical changes, right? It prepares itself for an event that when we feel some sort of threat or danger. And nowadays, we don't walk around always. Some of us do, but we're not walking around with that kind of stress because we are looking out for danger. But our perception of, I talked too about on my last video about, let me get in the sun. Talked about perception, and how we look at things. And so what's stressful for some person may feel like the event is stressful, another person may feel like it's not stressful. But however, there's things in life that can be very stressful, and it can mimic the same physical effects as if we were actually in a state of we were being threatened or our lives in danger. And one of those things is that our heart starts to beat faster, to pump the blood, and to go out to our extremities. We may have to run and all that. So it pumps up your heart pumps up faster. And that, if you have that constant pumping chronically, consistently, it can damage your arteries. And it can also, that in turn can cause plaque buildup. So it can cause your blood pressure to go up. That constant pumping of the blood can cause you to develop high blood pressure. It also the stress hormone is cortisol, and that can trigger inflammation in the arteries, which can also form plaque buildup. Also, the blood gets thicker, stickier, and you can be more prone to blood clots. It also increases cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, which also causes plaque formation. And it is an interesting thing called cardiomyopathy, which develops when you're under intense stress, consistently under intense stress, and it's called heartbreak syndrome. And the symptoms can liken to having a heart attack, even though there's no artery damage or nothing going on with your artery buildup. And this is from chronic stress. And you can be eating healthy and doing all those things and still develop these issues. You can damage your arteries. You can cause plaque buildup. You're more prone to high blood pressure and heart disease, stroke, and you're doing all the right things. So chronic stress is a real problem. And usually it could be, usually for some people, it is what's the start of their chronic disease and their health issues. And I was just thinking about my situation moving here. Moving is one of the 5 most stressful events a person can have in their lifetime. And I was thinking about how it worked for me. And when I did move, it was sudden. I was renting a house for a while, and the owner sold the house from under me with no notice. So I had like 60 days to get out. And so I was rushed, and thankfully I had the resources to move, but it was all of a sudden. And in 60 days, I wasn't able to find a suitable housing that I wanted, because I didn't want to go into a situation where the housing wasn't suitable or correct, and spend that money and then just have to turn around and move again. So I wanted to have time to just look and see what's out there, what I wanted to do. And so I decided I couldn't find anything within the 60 days, so I moved in with a relative. Now, I love my family. I think I have the best family on the planet. However, living in with your family or moving with someone can be stressful. And also moving to a new state, learning the lay of land, getting yourself situated, trying to find a place, all of that can be stressful, right? And so I brought that up is because at Truly Plant-Based, we help caregivers eliminate chronic stress. We don't help them manage it, we help them eliminate it. And I used my situation as an example because the way we help our clients is by helping them eliminate stress through exit and enter strategies. Now, I had an exit strategy because when the landlord dumped that news on me, I had an exit strategy because I had the resources to go and get another place. And fortunately, I had a relative I could stay with. However, I didn't have an enter strategy because it was all of a sudden. Now, had it been something that I had planned and I knew I was going to move, I would have been looking around, seeing what's out there, if I wanted to move to another state, what the market was like, what area I wanted to live in, what kind of neighborhood, all of those details I could have researched and I could have looked into, the job market, all of those things I could have looked at, and that would have planned. So then when I would have decided to move, I would have exited out of one situation and entered smoothly into another. Even though there's still stress that comes with moving, but it's not chronic stress. It's the kind of stress that, once you move, you get it done. And even that, it's like it's kind of a good stress because, if you wanted to move, this is something you wanted, you may be excited about it, it motivates you to do what you got to do, but then the stress ends. But when you don't have an enter strategy, it can be stressful and it can be long term. At Truly Plant-Based, what we do, we help our clients to establish exit and enter strategies, because you can exit out of a bad situation, out of a stressful situation. You can exit out of your bad health, but once you exit, you don't have an enter strategy for where you're going to go, where you're going to land next, right? So we help our clients to eliminate stress, chronic stress. We don't want to manage it because chronic stress is a lifestyle disease, is a chronic disease, right? And so just like managing high blood pressure and diabetes with medications, not addressing the real problem, just putting a Band-Aid on it and taking these medications instead of dealing with the real problem. Same with chronic stress. We want to exit the situation. We don't just want to manage it. Even though stress management, those lot of strategies are excellent. Massages, like I took my walk today, walking. There's a lot of good things that can help you to alleviate and manage your stress, but we don't want to just manage it. We want to eliminate it. So, caregivers, if you are someone dealing with chronic stress and you just don't see a way out, you've been trying to battle your chronic health issues unsuccessfully, give us a call, book a call with us, and we can see if we're suitable to work with one another, because you need to see, am I the right coach for you? Are you the right client for me? Right? So book a call, see if we can work together and we can get to the bottom of eliminating your chronic stress, eradicating your chronic health issues, and changing your lifestyle to go on forward healthy and achieve optimal health while you're caregiving. Not just to achieve optimal health, but while you're caregiving. And so, again, give us a call, book a call with us. The information is in the description, and we're here to help. You don't have to do it by yourself. Okay, guys, have an amazing day on purpose.